Anybody out there? Good evening from New Hampshire. Hello, Steve. Hello, Chuck. How we doing? I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to get all these comments set up. Uh-oh, that's not gonna work. What's going on, Brent? Hope you're having a great day, man. Yep, just got up. It is 8:54 here. Howdy from Columbus. Hello, Brian. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I gotta figure out how to keep these comments on here. Well, I got them here on this one, so maybe that'll work. I think I got it figured out, folks. I got two different pieces of equipment here, so instead of my comments fading away, maybe I'll catch all my comments this time, hopefully. How y'all doing? Just gonna tell y'all, I booked me and Trina a trip to Phuket, Thailand for April. And of course, by the time I booked it, we decided, well, let's just go to Bangkok. We'll go to Bangkok, and that's kind of an easier flight. I don't know where I'm supposed to. Where's the? I guess that's the camera over here. Yeah, we figured we'd go to Bangkok for an easier flight. So I got on Skyscanner, or got on Asian Air, and tried to cancel my flight. And here in the Philippines, you know, in the United States, you got 24 hours after you book a flight. If you change your mind, you can cancel it. Not the case with Air Asia. I don't know about any of the other ones, but Air Asia said no, we don't go that route. So evidently we're stuck going to Phuket, and the reason I was going to change it is because we don't fly out of Cebu till like 3:30 in the morning. So it's going to be a rough ride there, but at least we're starting out where we want to be. You know, I usually fly straight to Bangkok, and you know, about 4 days to Bangkok, you're ready to get the hell out of there. So this way we won't have to take a round trip to Phuket, however you say it, and then back to Bangkok. So maybe we can just kind of crow hop, start out in Phuket, might wind up in Bangkok, and then fly out of Bangkok. So I don't have round trip tickets, just got one ways at the moment. Let's see what we got here. Howdy again, Oliver. Good morning, Brent. Good morning, Jay Lee. Randall Brooks says, doing from South Carolina. How's the weather in the United States? Have y'all thawed out? Are y'all above freezing? Is the snow gone? Or are you starting to thaw out? What's going on in the United States? I know it's been, y'all have had hell. It looks like it's been cold, cold, cold. But yeah, when we're in Thailand, like I say, we plan on going to Phuket, spend a few days at Koh Phi Phi. You know, the Phi Phi Islands, that's my go-to. That's pretty. And this will be like my fourth time to go, but Sharina's never been, and she's always wanted to go to Thailand, and so I'm gonna take one for the team and go to Thailand again. Like I said, she's been to Malaysia and Indonesia, and which was all new to me, so I'm gonna bite the bullet and go somewhere she wants to go. And she's totally game. I was like, where do you want to go? I don't care, up to you. I said, okay. But she's really been pushing Thailand. Everybody goes to Thailand around here, so she's pumped about it. Jay Lee. Where'd you go? Mayam Boontang. Howdy again, Oliver. Cold, snow, and dark, says Brian. Randall Brooks says, we got 8 inches of snow here over the weekend. It's leaving, but cold front. All week in the low 20s. Woo! Negative 15 in New Hampshire. That's cold. That's colder than a well digger's ass. Negative 25 this weekend. Yeah, I don't think I can handle that. I like the cold, but I've never been around no cold like that. You know, I've been in maybe -5, maybe not even that cold, but with wind chill definitely. Just got 3 inches. Fresh snow. Colorado. As cold as a well digger's ass. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Colder than a witch's titty in a brass bra. Trying to see here. I catch all of them. I think I've caught them all. I may be on to something with this too. I've got my tablet running this deal. That's effing cold. You damn right that's cold. Negative 25. That's Eskimo cold. Yep. I'm down to 240 pounds, folks. But it's like I'm hung up there now. You know, that first 10's easy. It flies off because a lot of that's water weight. Excuse me. But it seems that I just want to get hung up there. Then the road destroys your cars. Yeah, rust them out. I used to be in the kind of the auto salvage business, and I'd have a bunch of guys come down from up north wanting to buy pickup beds because all their beds, well, their whole trucks, they rust out, and that's what they claim. They said it's not the elements there, but it's like the salt from the state departments that they put down. And I'm talking about, I've seen some of them just rusted where you didn't even know how the motor mounts was mounted to the damn vehicles itself. I mean, it's bad. So they'd always come down south, Texas, Oklahoma, and buy up all the beds and body stuff and go back and sell to the... Is there a cyclone coming? I don't know. I seen a deal saying that we may have a typhoon. I don't know if it's got strong enough yet. It's been for about 4 days. The guy said there's one building up out there, and then Aaron sent me a deal saying that there was something coming, but I don't know if it's strong enough to be considered a typhoon yet. I'm 95 kilograms. And can just see the tip of Fred. Need to lose count. Hey, I understand, Jay Lee. I understand. Like I was telling you in that last one, the guy said, "Why don't you diet?" And he said, "What color is it now?" Yeah. If I don't change my ways, I'm gonna have to start standing over a mirror. Oh, Fred, and that's true. So been watching Gojo. Looks like cost of living is cheaper in the Philippines, but the food is cheaper and more variety in Thailand. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say that's probably pretty close. But the longer you're in Thailand, you know, he's probably just got there, and what's he been there? Maybe a week or so. But the longer you're there, the more secrets you learn, and the more, you know, it's like anywhere. The longer you're somewhere, you run into more people, get more, you know, as soon as you get to the Philippines, you're not going to find a $300 house. You know, you get on Airbnb and kind of get taken advantage of for that first month. But during that first month, you can kind of ask around, ask the locals, and find something better. So I'm sure the cost of living or the accommodation's higher in Thailand. Definitely the hotels are higher. Now that's a fact. I mean, you're not going to find $20 hotels in you know, any of the main places. But if you go there to live, I'm sure you can find some pretty good deals. You know, you'll have to move on further down the line from the big condos and all that. I think the first time I was there, I think I I got an Airbnb for I think 2 weeks. And of course, the longer you go, the longer you stay somewhere, the cheaper it gets. So it was very reasonable, or I thought it was, especially just coming from the west. So yeah, the longer you're there, I think it gets cheaper. But the food is definitely street food in Thailand. I'll eat street food in Thailand. I don't mess with street food in the Philippines. You know, it's just night and day, night and day. And in Vietnam, Thailand, you can eat for $2. I mean, no problem. That's me and Trina. We went to a Vietnamese restaurant here, and I was thinking, shoot, they've got pho and banh mi's. It's their Vietnamese sandwiches they're famous for, and I thought we'll get one of them. And in Vietnam, they're $1. Of course, here in the Philippines, they're like $8. I was like, nah, I don't want one that bad. I find veggies a bit pricey. Where do you get yours? We go to the market. I bought veggies in the grocery store one time. Won't ever do that. Well, I say won't ever do it again. If I'm in a bind and just lazy, I might buy, you know, 1 or 2 vegetables, but they get you at the supermarket. So all these markets, hell, there's little roadside stands everywhere in the Philippines. And I guarantee you there's probably 10 between here and Valencia, and probably 5 but just between on the road I'm on, just to the, if you go down to North Point. So, but they're everywhere. There's a public market that stays open every day. Valencia has a deal every Sunday where they set up the whole, you know, the whole park. I've showed y'all some of them videos where just nothing but everybody selling vegetables, and they're all competing against each other, so the prices really get reasonable. Now the stuff we're used to, it's a bit higher, you know. Tarina says there's celery here, but I've never seen it. I was going to introduce her to peanut butter and celery. I can't eat the peanut butter, but I bought a big old jar from Bellcrest, and she's got to where she likes to eat that peanut butter. So I told her, I said, you need to try it with celery. But celery, lettuce, that kind of stuff is a bit higher. Did you get some hamburgers? Yeah, I got some hamburger meat. I never did find the patties. And like I say, the Filipina, she don't mind pattying them up. Just the first couple of times I had patties, you know, the taste was different. I was used to the imported, you know, American or Australian beef, whatever them patties are. I think it's American actually, but I just went down to the grocery store, and it's super cheap. It's like 350 pesos, which is what, $5, $6 for a kilo. So that's $3 a pound. That's a hell of a lot cheaper than, you know, what I was paying for it back home. And she'll just patty it up and make it for me. Now I've kind of got accustomed to, you know, everything's a little different. If you butcher your own beef back home, you know it's going to taste different than it does in the grocery store. Plus, there's a little difference between Philippines beef. I used to call it beef because it's not quite beef, but this seems to be all right. Like I say, it just took some getting used to. I'm still on the search for patties. If I see them, I'll buy them. But it's not important. You know what I mean? It's not as important as I thought it was. But like I say, if I see some, I'm gonna cabbage on to them. That was good looking produce. Yeah, I was proud of that little haul. I've never seen lettuce that big. It was actually, you know, about twice the size of any. Usually you find a head of lettuce, I'm talking about the size of your fist. And the first 2 or 3 layers you're gonna lose because it just looks like total crap. You know, you peel that off, throw it away, and then you're down to a baseball size head of lettuce. Take three heads of lettuce to make a salad. We got 32 people on here. Y'all give us a thumbs up, folks. Give us a thumbs up. Have you been to Front Mar Pizza in Darwin? No, I hadn't. Like I say, I'm on a no carb right now, but if it's a good pizza place, I'll dang sure put that on my map on the places I need to visit. That's what I usually do here. If somebody tells me a good restaurant or whatever, I'll go to my maps and I'll flag it as a place I want to go. Hey, no coughing. That's Filipino over here trying to, with a dry throat. I got you some hot water there.
Thank you, baby.
I'll pin it in my map, and that way if I'm in the area, I'll just look at my map or open my map, and it'll give me a green flag of the places that I want to go. So I'll put that on there after I'm down to my fighting weight. How are the grocery prices in the Philippines compared to the prices in Texas? I'd say probably cheaper. Well, it just depends. It really does. It depends where you go. Like I say, if you try to buy produce in the grocery store, you're gonna get screwed. But there's all kinds of little public markets, and the meat in the grocery store is actually affordable, and it's not. When I first got to the Philippines, I'm like, I'm not buying no meat from the stores, especially these outside markets, because you'll drive by and they've got like fish markets that just got little fans with streamers trying to keep the flies off. And I'm like, nah, I'm not messing with that. But the grocery stores got good meat and cheap meat. Really is. And like I say, the vegetables. There's so many of these roadside stands. It's pretty. But like I said, the stuff that we're used to, the stuff that we like, the lettuce, the heads of lettuce, potatoes are kind of high. Even carrots, they sell them individually. Back home we can get a whole bag of already peeled, ready to eat carrots, and they don't do that here. You get a big ass Bugs Bunny carrot. I guess the ground beef is grass-fed versus grain-fed. I don't know. I really don't. I think it's more banana leaf fed or shit, even coconut fed. There's not much grass here in the Philippines, and where there is a place that would have good grass, it's usually in sugar cane or something like that. There's not much grass. Trina's dad has a bunch of cows, and he's got them spread out to where I guess he's got a buddy. This guy will take care of a few, and this guy, they just got them spread out like that because there's not much grass. And I've seen the way they feed the hogs. It's just hell, they'll go pick like leaves off the trees and then grain feed them too. So I don't know. I need to ask him. I need to ask her dad really how Trina, how you can tell me. How does your dad feed his cows?
We have a pasture.
A pasture.
Yeah, we have a big lot, and then they just free to eat the grass.
Right.
But we have one like boy cow, the big cow who's make
The bull.
yeah. That
He's got the best job in the Philippines.
Yeah, he feed that what is that? Feeds.
Oh, he special feeds it like grain and.
Yeah, but the other cows he has is.
She said they're free range like ours, and maybe it does rain over here, but you don't see people like where I'm from. I'm from Oklahoma. You got 160 acres. Hell, that might run 10 head, and you don't see big farms like that here. So, like I said, I don't know. Maybe they get enough rain that the little grass that they do have comes back. But they've got chickens and pigs and goats and everything else, competing for it. Of course, a goat would rather eat a damn tree than grass. So, like I say, they're definitely not grain fed. Let's see here. Hello from Texas, by the way. Hello, Gary. Glad you could join us. Got 37 people in the chat. Those pre-made patties likely have other ingredients than just beef. I don't know, because like I said, I think this is American beef. I really do. I think it's beef and fat. I mean, you just try their pizza fire oven, thin crust, right out on the beach. Best in doing. I'll give it a try. Thank you for that, Dan. Or is that Dan or Danny? Or Danny B? But like I say, now the pre-made patties that you get, if you go and get you a hamburger here in the Philippines, it's definitely not all hamburger meat. I don't know. I think they thinned it out with something because I've never had a hamburger here in the Philippines that was, you know, as good as I say as good. It's just not what I'm used to. So it's Carabao. Yeah, it may be Carabao. A little water buffalo. Do you use the 4% rule as far as retirement goes for your budget monthly? I don't know what the 4% rule is. Explain. And I usually, I can just probably answer that without you having to go through all that. I really don't have a rule. I just try to, you know, live within my means or whatever. I try to put back at least half what I spend. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Are the pigs tasty? Yeah. Except they never get very big. Everybody's always having a fiesta or a party. So, and they cook the pigs whole here. It's, you know, over a rotisserie, lechon. How many kilos do you usually when you order a pig?
Okay,
A lechon when they use 30 kilos, so about 70 pounds,
30,
65 pounds.
25 to 30 because if too much heavy.
Yeah, if they get too heavy, it's harder to cook
Yeah,
because you can. They sit there and rotate that thing by hand. They just put them over open fire, and somebody just manually turns them for about 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever it takes. But man, they're delicious. But you don't have the same. I don't know. I want to say like cuts of meat because they cook it whole. It's, you know, you don't have like in America we're big on having a whole ham and stuff. So good ham's hard to find over here too, or I hadn't found it. Hey, Special Tom said red slime. Remember that red slime. If you can share, how did you retire early before Social Security? I was in the military. Bacon for the soul. Spend 4% of your retirement balance annually, equal $1 million. No, I didn't follow that rule. I'm just trying to do the same thing as we're close to the same age. Okay. No, I was in the military, and then I got out, and you know I just worked a regular job. I worked for the state of Oklahoma for 15 years, and back in 2018 I went to the VA and got on there, got my stuff started through the VA, and I hadn't had to work since. 65 pounds, yippee, yeah. And that'll feed a lot of people. That'll feed, you have you mentioned lechon, the whole community shows up. The whole community. Yeah, Ace, the VA got me hooked up, like I say, back in, I guess I started in 2018 and 2000. I'd never even been to a VA before that. I didn't. You know, I just never tried or whatever, and I went in 2018, and sometime in 2019, I got all my benefits, so I've been able to. I've been blessed since then. Well, the comments are staying on this one. I might as well read this one so I'm not looking crazy. Got 36 in the live. Greetings from Hue Hin, Thailand. Research Thailand immigration. They may ask questions on a one-way ticket. I know they were requiring a departing ticket. Just saying. Yeah, absolutely, Barry Rock. You can get a throwaway ticket, but I'll definitely, before I go, I'll have my ticket bought for the way back. Just hadn't done it because I was looking at round trip prices, and well, I thought at the time that I could buy one ways cheaper because there just wasn't no deals for round trip tickets. And so I bought one ways, and I figured sometimes I'll do the multi-trip where like I say, I could land in Phuket and then fly out of Bangkok. Well, I just decided, well, I'll just when I get to Thailand, we'll hang out at Phuket for a while, probably ease on up to Bangkok, and then fly out of Bangkok. And that way, I don't have to fly back to Phuket to get out of there. You know what I'm saying? But if all else fails, we'll because they've always required me to get an exit ticket before they'll ever let me get on the plane. So I'll definitely have a ticket back. If you've been here under 6 months, is there an exit tax? Not the exit clearance, but an exit tax. I've never paid one. No, I've never paid one. Now, the Filipina has a tax. She's got to pay like 1,600 pesos every time she leaves the country. But it's something the Philippines does. All Filipinos have to pay 1,600 pesos. Some people say, well, I didn't do it. Well, some airlines put it in their airfare. So you pay it one way or the other. We have a warm spell here in Wyoming. Let me hear it. Let me hear the warm spell. What are you up to? -15. What's up, Quantum? Wow. The iguanas are dropping out of the trees due to the cold weather in Florida. How cold is it? That's easy iguana picking. 50 degrees. Yeah. Are the iguanas as thick in Florida as they are in like Cancun and Isla Mujeres? They're everywhere. You just see them all over the place. You should check out Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Flights back to Cebu often low. Well, we're flying to Malaysia first. That's how we're getting there. We're flying from Cebu to Kuala Lumpur, and then it's like an hour to Phuket, something like that. 30 degrees in Florida. Oh, they're thick. Kevin says, hello from Oklahoma. I didn't realize, do the crocodiles not keep them all laid up? It was 34 this morning in Naples, Florida. I didn't know it got that cold in Florida. Little mini dinosaurs, yeah. Freaky looking, but hell, I don't think they'll hurt you with it. I know in Mexico, hell, people hold them and well, matter of fact, in Phuket, that hotel I stayed at, Patong Mansion, they've got one that just stands on his little perch all day long. Just sits on a perch, and the owner will come get him off there, just like a pretty much a pet. They're the ones that their tails falls off, right? Like if something attacks them, their tail will fall off, and then they'll just run off without their tail. Pretty sure. They were picking up iguanas and firing up the barbecue. How's that taste? Michael Stewart says, supposedly they're trying to freeze the biblical Leviathan, which is awakening. Huh. If you were the size of a cricket, they would hurt you. What's your plans in Thailand? Nothing. No plans. We're just going to chill. We're just going to... that's why we decided to land in Phuket. We're just gonna chill. No plans. Kick back by the beach. May go do some. May go out on a little boat adventure. Probably gonna stay like 3 or 4 nights in Phuket. Probably 3 or 4 nights in on Phi Phi. Probably 3 nights in Phi Phi, because you know it's such a little island. May go out on a couple of adventures there, and then of course. She wants to see Bangkok, but like I told her, about 3 or 4 days in any city is really enough for me in pretty much anywhere. But we don't want to be traveling so much that it feels like we're not on vacation, you know what I mean? Better than chicken, not as good as gator though. I've had gator. Matter of fact, I've had gator in Thailand.
What's food there, baby?
Huh?
How's the food?
The food's good. You'll love the food. Well, I say you will. You're pretty picky. But they've got rice. You can find some rice, and they got chicken and fish. Lots of fish, lots of seafood. I don't do seafood. I'm not a big seafood. It's been 70 degrees in California. That's about your norm then, ain't it? For this time of year. Me and girlfriend can eat here in Hua Hin Market Village for 200 baht daily, 6 US due cooked fresh daily. Yeah, me and Mike went to Hua Hin. Am I saying that right? I know the H's in Vietnam are W, like way is spelt U. I don't know if that's the same in Thailand or not. I always say Phuket, and people are saying, why are you saying it Phuket? It's Phuket. Love gator. Is there a lot of poisonous snakes here? I've never seen one, but yeah, they're definitely here. They're definitely out there. Some bad poisonous ones. You get used to dry fish. Ooh, no, I don't do the dry fish. I don't. No, that's not me. Now the Filipina, she's got a window screen that she hangs up on the fence. It's just a wooden square, and it's got like a window screen on it. And I'll come home, she'll have that thing hung up outside with a damn, looks like just fillets of fish all over it. And I'm like, no. So we definitely got different palates. Would you return to Indonesia? Definitely. And I would have went back to back if she didn't want to go to Thailand. I really would have. I would have went straight back to Bali because I liked it. I mean, and cheap, and you get so much bang for your buck. She don't realize it, but when we're in Thailand, we're probably not going to stay in quite as nice of accommodations, just because it's higher there. Now I say that I did find some pretty good spots. I hope they're pretty good. The reviews said they're good, and seeing how it's going to be April, you know that's their low season. Right now, the same hotels would probably be 3 times as high. So we are getting a hell of a discount because it's low season. But I don't like going anywhere in peak season. But I definitely I plan on going back to Indonesia. There's a whole lot more that we hadn't discovered. But I would start off in that Sanur, like everybody told me I should have to start with, and then head on over to the Nusa Islands and check out that Nusa Penida. But if I was guessing, I would probably wind up back at that smallest Nusa Island because you know there was hardly anybody. There may not be a lot of folks at that main island, but we really enjoyed the islands. Oh, that rooster sounds like it would make great lunch. There's several roosters out there that I wish somebody would eat. If you don't mind me asking, when did you meet Charina? She seems to be a very bad person.
Who said that?
Who said that?
That
said? No, it says a very loving person. I'm just kidding.
I'm not bad person.
I made that up.
Very
I met her about 2 years ago. Matter of fact, April will be 2 years. Fish drying racks in Iceland. We called Makef for our air base at Keflavik. Very smelly. Yeah, well, you can definitely tell when she's drying fish, and I'll walk by and she'll just look at me and start laughing. Can you get a smoker like a Pit Boss or a Trigger and Dumicata? Yeah. You can either order them on Lazada, or I was driving by. We was just driving down the road one time, and I said lots of the locals make them here. So, let me take that back. There's a place that I drove by that I seen that had them. So like I said, like I do the restaurants, I pinned it on my map, and I keep telling her we need to go back, and we just never have done it and go check it out because that's probably going to be my next purchase as a grill. Now it won't be near as fancy as that, but it'll get the job done. A little funny. Any plans to travel the Philippines? Yeah, yeah. Like I said, me and Aaron have always said that we'd like to do the little Leyte up through Samar, just ride our motorcycles up through there. But now that he's a three-wheeler or a tricycle man instead of a motorcycle deal, that may be out. But I definitely plan on doing some more. Like I say, there's several places more that I'd like to go here in the Philippines. I'd like to go to Mindanao. I'd like to go to Baguio. I'd like to go to Subic. There's just lots of places. I don't know about Siargao. That's a hot spot for tourists. But to me, you're in the Philippines. I went to Boracay. That's another hot spot for beaches. But I'm like, hell, we're on islands. We've all got beaches. You can find some beaches here on Negros as beautiful as anywhere else. So I'm not really going anywhere for the beaches. I just like to go and explore, really. Howdy, Brent. Howdy. I don't know if that's Louis 2271. But yeah, there's all kinds of places that I would like to check out in the Philippines. Really, really would. And like I say, I would like to spend some time around Subic. I've got several pins when I find a good spot or see a good spot or just watch a video and somebody mentions or has good things to say, I'll put a check by it. But I've been to several places. Hello, RLT9410. Hello. Batangas is another place. It's south of Tagaytay, and I wish I would have went when I was there the first time. I was at Tagaytay, and I was just probably an hour south of there is a pretty popular spot. Batangas, I think, is the name of it. I would have liked to have went there, and then like I say, that take Luzon all the way down to Leyte. I think you might have to use a ferry a couple of times, but you can get pretty much all the way down to Cebu that way. I think that would be a good long strip of good riding. You just have to do it during dry season. I worked at Camp O'Donnell, 38 and wake up call until I retire to Iloilo. We've been to Iloilo. Well, I think you'll enjoy the Philippines. I really do. And I probably can't tell you nothing that you don't already know. I had somebody in not the last video, but the one before that. I'm not listening to this guy till he's been here 10 years. I'm thinking, damn. If I lived somewhere 10 years, hell, I would have half-grown kids. If you can't figure some place out within a couple of years, you just ain't going to get it figured out, I don't think. And you'll never know, everything about anywhere. So I don't know what he was trying to say. I think he was just saying, hey, I've been here longer than you, is what he wanted to say. But Subic was the most beautiful Navy base in the world prior to, Pinatubo, the volcano. That thing screwed up a lot of stuff. That's the reason they shut Clark down. Clark was a nice community, and now it's like a ghost town. I seen a video on it, or I seen the thumbnail about Clark or whatever, and I'm thinking, there's nothing there. You go by it to get to the airport, but you can tell that it definitely used to be a United States place because it's spread out. There's parking. There's you can just tell that it was a military installment. But yeah, Subic, Clark. I guess they just got so much ash and stuff from that volcano. They said, "The hell with it. We're not playing this game no more." You should take a trip to Sipalay, nice beaches. Yeah, my buddy, like I said, lives up in San Carlos. They go there all the time. If they go out on an island, that's where they go. They'll shoot across there and I don't know. They like to snorkel and all kinds of stuff. But that's definitely a place I need to check out. Great minds think alike. So you second that. Yeah, back to back, both of y'all mentioned Sipalay. Like I said, yeah, he loves it. and it's just a short ferry. He said, just don't cost hardly anything to get over there. Do you see yourself spending the rest of your time between the Philippines and the U.S.? Yeah, yeah. But I like to jump other places. Like I say, I like to. I can't stay anywhere one place too long. I've got to go out and reset, refocus, and but you go anywhere for a month, you can go spend a month. That's a good thing being in Southeast Asia. I mean, and I've got to visit most of the places over here. I've been to Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Japan, Malaysia, Indonesia. Seems like I'm missing something. The ones that I hadn't been to are South Korea, and I ain't got no interest in being to China or going to China. But I think Laos maybe like on the. I'd like to go back to Vietnam. Vietnam was awesome. It pisses me off that I'm hung up with something to do, and when I applied for my visa, it acts like I'm still in Vietnam. So I don't know. I don't know how to fix that unless I go to like a travel agent and say, hey, you need to fix this, because every time there's nowhere that I can say on the e-visa, the application that you fill out, there's nowhere I can say, hey, I'm not in your country. That's why I'm applying for a visa. So I don't know. I need to get that figured out because I love Vietnam. It was that may be my favorite country, but not to live. 30 days is plenty there because of the language barrier. And I don't know. It's just a beautiful place to visit, especially the motorbike. I drove a motorbike pretty much the whole, from Da Nang nearly all the way to China. I could throw a rock and hit China. So, but that, like I say, Tom, that's I kind of got off topic. But yeah, I really. Of course, with them grandbabies, I've got a grandbaby due in May, and so as my first one is getting a little older, I may have to spend more time there. I don't know, but it'll definitely be between the two. Volcanoes always win, definitely. Good morning, McLevin. You just wanted me to say that, didn't you? Good morning, McLevin. Great info on your last video about saving money for the occasional getaways to keep from. Yeah, it's very important. It really is, because, like I say, just the grind anywhere really, but especially the Philippines. It's nice to just be able to get away, even if you stay in the Philippines. Just get out of your element, get out of your comfort zone. And for me, living sober now, I've got to have a little bit of excitement in my life, or I'm afraid that I would fall back into my old ways and because I could see how a lot of people get over here and just could become alcoholic or are alcoholics or whatever. So I don't have no interest in going down that road. So I try to keep, and for my health, because they say the quickest way to die is to retire. Because you can fall into that. Not having a routine, not having a reason to get excited or motivated about anything. So I try to keep a trip on the horizon. I try to keep some plans and future plans because you can get over here and just lush out. Because you can get over here and just become plumb lazy. Somebody will do everything for you because you can afford it. If you want a yaya or a maid, you could have somebody here, cleaning shit that don't even need to be cleaned. You could have a gardener, a lawn boy. You got Grab deliver you food. You don't have to leave the house, but it's good to make yourself get out of the house and step out of your comfort zone and live. And that's what I've been trying to do. Filipinas are sweeping already. Yeah, I bought her a new sweeper yesterday. We was down at Alameda, the little store up the road, and I seen a box full of them, them old wooden brooms. They use sticks instead of like broom hairs. And that's what she does the driveway with. She was down there a while ago sweeping the driveway. I said, "How do you like your new broom?" She said, "It's a little soft." So she said, "I don't think these bristles were old enough." So they know how old the bristles need to be, and but it's got a long handle on it. Usually it's just a bundle of like a bundle of sticks, but this one's got a bundle connected to a stick. So she's really proud of that. Where'd we go? Florida in the house. Hello, Curtis Green. Glad you could join us. The island near San Carlos is Sipaway. Sipaway is in, okay, I had it wrong. Is in Negros Occidental. Well, so is Sipaway. Sipaway is in Negros Occidental. Sipaway is on the other side of Negros. Okay, my bad. Sipaway, Valencia. That's what's confusing about there. I think every island has a Valencia on it. This Negros Oriental has two. There's, what do you call that? The two Valencias. One of them's Valencia, Chata Valencia. One of them's, what's the other one called?
East Valencia and
Yeah, East Valencia and West Valencia.
West
They're
Valencia.
they're about, I don't know, 4 kilometers apart. I'm from Alabama. Me and my Filipino wife 25 years ago. Been coming to her family home in Bacong since 2000. You probably drove by our house 1,000 times. I don't know about 1,000 times, but might have drove by it a few. Like I say, I've been to Bacong 3 times, I guess. So, Oklahoma City in the house. Hello, weekend RVing. Did you winterize your RV, I hope? Busty Mugs, Dothan AI here. Well, what do you mean, Jeffrey? Dothan, Alabama here. Okay. What's that say? Busty Mugs? Am I saying that right? As a Vietnam veteran, I have a bounty on my head. I can't go there. Well, I appreciate your service, Curtis, but I don't know. Them are some of the most understanding people. I've seen lots of videos of them interviewing with vets that have went back over there and met the people they're fighting against. It's pretty amazing. It really is. How they accept each other, and they're just so proud to be a country now. Like I said, thank you for your service. And you'd be surprised at the hospitality. They might have lifted that bounty, is what I'm trying to say. Call their embassy consulate. They can help you out. Yeah, Brian, that's probably what it's going to take to fix it. It really is. Why not go for the military SSRV, which I understand is $3,000, which would pay for itself in a few years? Because I can wait for another year and a half and get it knocked down to $1,500. As soon as you turn 50, for some reason they cut it in half, and you only have to pay $1,500. And I figured I might as well just have $1,500 laying in limbo instead of $3,000, because some people said they didn't have any problem getting that money back, and some people say that you probably never get it back. So I don't know. Never done it, but I'm so close to 50 that I just hadn't done it. I have to say I'm a little bit jealous of your lifestyle. Great girl and easy living. Appreciate it, Tom. Yeah, I've had to fight for it though. Don't let it fool you. I've had my share of shit I've had to go through to get here. Right on, Brent. I'm sober since '99, living calm, normal life, but I still like to swing from the shadows. Me and you both, Brian. You've been at it a lot longer than me. You've got as many years as Aaron's got. Well, a couple more years than Aaron's got. I think he's 25 or 20. I can't remember exactly. He just had a birthday. But yeah, life is good. I'm no longer in that prison. It had me. It really did. Where's that grill place? I've been looking for one. Are you here in Dumageddon? Let me look on my map here. I've got it flagged. If I can do this without. places I want to go. See if this is it. I believe this is it. It's called 3GM Enterprises. And if it's got an address, it says it's on San Jose Extension, Dumaguete City, Negros Oriental. Let me see if I can find you a landmark. I forget where we turned. What is this? Okay, the Filipina, she usually goes to Asia Lashes, and it's right down the road from Asia Lashes. You'll turn onto, I guess, that San Jose Extension, which is right there by the Negros Oriental High School. Hope that helps you. And like I say, we was driving by, I seen them from the road. I marked it down, and they had them out by the road, smokers. So I'm from Daphne, Alabama. Okay, buddy. Broom's a little soft. Yellow her a little more pressure. Did you find a new chicken lady? No, same chicken lady I've always had. Like I say, I can't eat the fried stuff anymore. So I really don't need a chicken lady at this point. I was a little disappointed last time I went to my chicken lady. She didn't even recognize me. Hi, Brent. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand, married to a Filipina and living in Dipakula, Aurora, Philippines. Love watching your videos. Hey, Grant and Shirley. I'm glad you enjoy them. Thank you for checking us out. I was responding to Buddy. Okay. Hey, man, I just got up. Time to pick up my scooter and drive on the left side of the road. Hey, be careful. We did that in Bali, and I never did get used to it. I was doing good, David, until there wasn't nobody coming down the road. Then I would kind of, you know how you just kind of start leaning to the center of the road, and then I'd go to meet somebody, and I'd automatically want to drive on the left. I mean on the right. Thank you, sir. You bet. A Kiwi Cool. Found it on Google Maps. Yeah, check that out. I plan on going back there. I keep telling, every time I remember it, I keep telling Serena, we need to go there because when I've been going to all these little markets, I always see their little charcoal bags. And the charcoal bags don't cost nothing. Of course, they're only about that big, but they don't hardly cost anything. And I keep telling her, she's like, we got a charcoal. No, she's got a rusted out pan with a screen over it. I said, no, we need a real smoker. Cali OH7MJ in the house. Boom. For your beautiful wife and life. Keep living your best life. Hey, I appreciate that. $20. We have a place for that. I guarantee you, Trina's got her headphones in.
I still hear that. Thank you.
You still
so
hear that?
much.
She said, I still hear that. Thank you.
For the $20.
Thank you so much, she says.
We have free dinner tonight.
Free dinner tonight, she says. Appreciate that, Callie. I need to put that in my little book here before I mess it. I tried to go back and get all the Ooh, I've got you down for 20 before, Callie. Thank you. 7MJ, $20. Like I say, appreciate you. Chicken lady thinks we all look alike. That's right, we're all stupid foreigner buying up all my chicken. When I told her I want 20 pieces, she looked at me all crazy. Yeah, 20 pieces, you got plenty. Like you, being a fan for a few years from Perth, Australia. Keep it up going, mate. When I'm back in the Philippines, have to catch up and have a feed and chat. Keep it going. Hey, I appreciate it. What's that say, Uncle Buck? Yeah, just holler at me when you get over here, and we'll go have a coffee or do something. Where's the money for his beautiful buddy Aaron? Aaron don't get no money. Aaron, how many years do you got? How many years? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? I can't find it. How many years do you got, if you don't mind saying? Brian's been sober since 99, I believe he said. Hey brother, how's it going? Going good, Ken. Going real good. Aaron McLovin's got a question for you. How's that new buggy going? Do you frequent Starbucks? No, I try not to hit Starbucks. And they've got a frappuccino that I love that just puts about 2 pounds on me every time I drink one. Plus, I'd rather give my money to the locals here. I'm not trying to give Starbucks no money. I shouldn't give McDonald's any money. I really shouldn't. But once you eat McDonald's once, I don't know. That poison has something in it that's like cocaine. You just want another hit. So if you in the United States, I never ate McDonald's. I get over here and then I ate McDonald's and I wanted it again and again. And it's just easy to get on Grab and say, bring me. You know what you're getting. Bring me a triple meat hamburger and fries and some chicken nuggets, and you know what it's going to taste like. You don't have to worry about, hey, what you're going to get. You know what you're going to get, and if they have it, if they're not out of stock. So yeah, I try to give my money to the Filipinos. Like I say, I'll walk down here to the coffee shop. Me and Trina got to where we'll walk down there and get us a cold iced Spanish latte. Like I say, I recommend A Cafe. When I'm in Valencia, they've got a little, just kind of a little shack set up behind the red table that, I try to, 26 to 27, I guess. So pretty similar. 12/2 of 99. He didn't say what month. Brian didn't say what month. So y'all are pretty close. Kept us alive. Yep. And thanks to people like y'all that showed me the way. Brent, I went to McDonald's in Bangkok. We all went in for the AC. I can't tell my friends I did this. I don't blame you. But that's where you screw up, is anytime you're at an airport or that's where it started with me. You go to the airport and they're going to put it in you as deep as they can at anywhere you eat. So you think, well, I'll go to McDonald's. I'm sure I'll pay more for it, but at least it won't be a $35, ramen by the airport restaurant. One time in Cancun, I bought a dill of spaghetti from $35 for this spaghetti that tasted like total ass, and from then on I was like, before I go to the airport, if I'm going on a long haul, I'm going to stop at McDonald's and take me a bag of burgers, especially if I got a long flight. And then after you eat that poison, you're hooked. He's at, okay, y'all are answering each other. Yeah, I got behind one, Aaron. I got behind one on the way home from your place the other day. Was doing at least 60. We're gonna do a review on that thing, and Aaron's gonna tell you, or for the folks in this chat, y'all like I say, he can answer your stuff right now. We're gonna do us a video on it too, and I think he said he had a way to set up a camera and see what you get. I haven't taken it faster because it's breaking in. Yeah, I don't blame you. And I don't know if you'd want to anyway. I don't know. The slower the better on anything is better in Dumaguete. I mean, in the Philippines. What have we been on here? I've always been on here about an hour now. Boom! With a $50 from Curtis Green. You are the man.
Yay! Love it.
Love it. Charina says, love it.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, Curtis.
We have double dinner tonight.
Folks, Curtis Green is the man.
He is always sending money.
I appreciate all of you, folks. This is unbelievable. And like I say, I didn't
God bless you.
I didn't start this to make money, but we definitely got a place for it. I guarantee you that'll sure help on our future adventures. Appreciate you, Curtis. You are the man. What did you weigh in at this morning? I don't want to tell you. Chris, I weighed in at 241 pounds, and I was 240 yesterday. But I don't know if I overdid it on my broccoli and cheddar last night, or if waking up and eating one of them hamburger patties screwed me. But I did, after I drank my coffee, went and handled my business, took a leak, and I was back to 240. So that's what I was saying when I first started this deal. It's like I hang up after 10 pounds, and I can't break that hump. It's like I get that water weight off and lose a few pounds, and then I get hung up. And I usually give up and go back to my normal ways, but I'm going to try to push through it this time. I know, I've just got to break through, and you know, once you start dropping, you drop and drop and drop, and everything is good. But you hit these peaks and stalls. I've done it before. It's a mind game, and it's hard to keep going when you think, because you're always looking for an excuse to quit, right? And that's my deal. I'll do that. And before I'd say, well, hell, I'm going through all this trouble, and I'm a pound heavier. I'm gonna go have me some guilt food, and I did break down and have some guilt coffee, some of this crap. But I got to reading. I got my camera out, and I zoomed in on the ingredients of my coffee, and those have 5 carbs each. So I know why I was never in ketosis with them before, is because I was drinking probably 6 of them a day. And I think to stay in keto, you can have 20. So I'm on the strictly tuna fish today. I think it was Curtis that told me have some tuna fish wraps, and that's what I plan to eat tonight for supper is tuna fish wraps. I'm gonna get that lettuce and make me either a tuna bowl, you know how they core it out and do it that way, or I'm gonna have some tuna wraps like Curtis suggested. I checked BK in Chiang Mai airport, $20 for a combo. No way I'm paying that much for a burger. Yeah, me and Sharina run into that. I don't know if it was at. I can't remember where the hell we was at. I think it might have been Cebu, if they've got a Burger King. But ridiculous. I can't imagine being in the back of that thing doing 60. No, especially Aaron's, because they've got a package where they give you seats on each side. But he didn't get seats. He got the trucker package where he's got the open bed where he can haul anything. He's probably gonna start moving people, I think. Help people move, haul water, and maybe open up his own transportation, his little jeepney 3-wheeler, his little tuk-tuk service. But no, I can't. I told him, I said, you need to get you a lawn chair and mount in the back of that thing. But I'll just follow him. I ain't riding in the back of it. But like I say, they make little benches that go on each side, and they're padded benches, so it'd probably be all right. But not 60. There's no way in hell I'd do it. Woohoo, Curtis. Yeah, y'all get Curtis. Curtis and Cali 087, y'all are the man. Curtis is the man. So are you, Callie. I appreciate you too. Y'all are both making our dreams come true.
Yay!
I don't feel so bad about getting took on them tickets that they wouldn't let me cancel. They wouldn't let me cancel my airplane tickets. I tried canceling them because I found a flight with better time.
Thank you, Mr. Green.
Thank you, she said. And so it was through AirAsia, and I was like, hell, when I seen it, I thought, hell, I'll just go ahead and book it, because on that site, if you don't book it, the next time you look at it, it's liable to went up by 50 because they know you're interested. They're spying on us, folks. They know that I've looked at them flights, and if I come back, that I'm probably going to pull the trigger. So they'll say that flight's went up. So I thought, well, hell, I'll just book it while I see it. And then I booked it, and I thought, well, hell, I got 24 hours to cancel it, or you do it in the United States. Wrong. AirAsia don't let you cancel. And so it pissed me off. It really did. I'm kind of butthurt at AirAsia because I flew them to Bangkok before, and I left my tablet on their airplane. And I thought, hell, that's a lost cause. There's no way in hell I'll ever get that back. Just considered it lost. And I went to the lady at the Lost and Found. They tracked my. Matter of fact, she had a picture of it on her computer that I'd left it on the plane. But by the time that, because I was flying from Bangkok to Phuket then, this had been about a week. But I just thought, wow, while I'm laid over here, I'll go ask them about it. Yep, she had a picture of it. But by the time she tracked it down, it was back in Manila because that's where I came from. And they said, no problem. Just when you get back to Bangkok, I was doing a week in Phuket and then going back to Bangkok. They said, just let us know. We'll have it here waiting on you. And sure enough, when I got back from Phuket, went to the window, there it was. Got my tablet back. I thought, y'all are pretty awesome. So that's twice in the Philippines that I've lost something and got it back. And the first time was my wallet. I told y'all about my wallet and the people here in the Philippines that I probably had more money in my wallet than they make in a month. And they called me. They tracked me down. How they did it, it was just, I was brand new to the Philippines. I had one number in my wallet, wrote on a card where I'd rented my motorbike, and I got a guy's number that was going to take me out and show me apartments. They called that guy and they said, yeah, I know him. He called me and said, hey, they've got your wallet up there. They totally went out of their way to track me down when they could have just totally kept my money. Had all my credit cards, all my IDs, all my ATM cards. I would have been screwed. So from that point on, I've always made it a point to divide that stuff up. Just carry one ATM, one credit, and one ID. So I had nothing but good things to say about AirAsia for that reason. And then they go and won't let me cancel Now you can get her a leaf blower. I got her a wash machine that ain't never been used. I got it plumbed in, finally got it. We tracked down a damn hose for probably 2 weeks trying to get a damn hose mounted so she could use it. It's been on there at least a week and a half. She still ain't used it. Which I'm not griping, I don't mind. She got it mainly for the spin cycle because all that stuff gets too heavy for her. But she says on my shirt she has to hand wash them because she said in my armpits, my deodorant gets on there. And that may be another reason she don't like me wearing deodorant. Truth is known. But I'm like, I'm wearing deodorant. I'm not going to go around stinking. I have to remember to wear my helmet. It's 500 baht fine, 2,000 baht for no license. There are so many tourists on motorcycles here. Oh my God! You ain't telling me no. You need to go to Bali or the Philippines if you think there's a lot of. Well, it may be the same on that island that you're on. I know in Phuket though, I never rent a scooter in Phuket. I've never rented one in Thailand. Period. Just because in Phuket they had just a, it was like going to northern Vietnam on that Hai Giang Loop. You were gonna get stopped for not having a license, and except in Vietnam they just let you pay a little fine and go on about your way. In Thailand, they wouldn't let you move your bike until you went down caught a ride to the Thai police station, then paid it there at the police station, then walked back to get your bike. Always ways. That's right. That's right. Do a little flushing before you get on that scale. Curtis is amazing. That's good money. Damn right. Curtis and Callie. Nothing but, it makes my heart hurt. It's so good. Need to back in that swimming pool. Yeah, I really do. Aaron called me the next morning and said, "Are you sore?" And hell yeah, I was sore because when we was out in that ocean, fighting them waves, you don't realize it, but you're using muscles that you don't realize you're using, even though you're just kind of taking it easy and just, doggy paddling or staying afloat. Try the hamburger at Casablanca in Dermagetti. Okay, I will as soon as I get to my goal weight. I'll try I'll order a hamburger there because the best hamburger I've had here, I'll have to say, was at that Racer Cafe. That was the closest thing to a hamburger that I've had. But I'm from Oklahoma and Texas where there's certain old style diner that does the old, they got a name for them now. What do they call them? Where they smash burgers. I've been eating at them kind of joints my whole life. In Mangum, Oklahoma, there was the Hamburger Inn and a restaurant called Slicks that my ex-wife's family owned. Famous hamburgers, but and half of it they said the taste come from the grill. The same cook could cook the same burger on a different grill and it not take the same because that man had millions of burgers that he cooked on them grills. Well, both places actually. And there's a place in Amarillo, Texas, Elmo's drive-thru. If you're in Amarillo, go check out Elmo's drive-thru. It's kind of shaped like a Sonic, but you just pull up kind of like you're going to the Sonic. They don't have no button you can push. A lady will come up with her notepad, write down your order, and bring you the best hamburger you ever ate. After your last trip, would you go back to Bali? Yes, definitely, Mike. Definitely, I would, and I want to go back. And it's going to be in our future plans to go back. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it as much as I probably enjoyed anywhere. And cheap. Bang for your buck. You really get bang for your buck. You can find, I told y'all there's $20 hotels here in the Philippines. Well, there's $20 hotels in Indonesia, but that are damn nice. I mean, super nice. Hell, there's $20 beachfront villas. And it's just amazing. It's an awesome place. Crowded on the island of Bali, but the Nusa Penitas and the Nusa Islands are considered Bali too. No people. Go there, you'll have a blast. Still that same monster can. Yeah, I still got it. Use that nice lettuce to make tuna wraps. That's Korean style. Yeah. Yeah, you're the second one to tell me that. That's why I said that's on the agenda tonight. We're going to have wraps. I may be having wraps for a while because right now I just bought, I think, 3 or 4 of them little bitty heads of lettuce that I thought, hey, that lettuce looks good. I'm gonna buy every one they had, and I've already ate at least one of them. So then I bought 3 more last night of them heads that are twice the size at least. So I'll be eating lettuce for a while. Mount Lazy Boy in the back. Mount Lazy Boy in the back of the tricycle. Hell yeah. I might ride with him then. But BK is really good in Thailand. I think I paid $16. Yep. I think $16 for the fine or $16 for the motorbike. Because hell, you can get a motorbike in Bali and in the Philippines for $5 a day. In Mexico, hell, they wanted $30 during the pandemic. Thought y'all are out of your rabbit ass mind. I guess I missed them comments before. Had a fight with my girlfriend in Bangkok because I was telling her bar girls in Thai that they were beautiful. I'm only trying to learn Thai. Hey, yeah, you gotta be careful. I bet you can find you another one though. Hey y'all, I'm late. Just wanted to say hello from Wichita. Hello, John. Glad you could join us. We're about to wind this down, but yeah, glad you could join us. Brian said, God bless. Yeah, absolutely. That is as American as baseball. Good hamburger. And apple pie. Next time you get to Manila, check out Fogo and Chow Brazilian, all you can eat steak. I'll do that. I went to a place in Angeles City. I can't remember the name of it, but I kept seeing their little ads pop up on Facebook. So I guess it was time for last. I went down there and got to. It was a steak and barbecue, some kind of homemade barbecue and steak. They would give you like a sample platter. It was pretty good. It was high, but it was good. When I go to Bangkok, I'm gonna go to that steakhouse me and Mike went to. We found a good steakhouse right across the street from the Holiday Inn there, where we were staying. And I'm gonna track that place back down. I have to go back to my videos and find the name of it. But that's one good thing about YouTube too, is I can go back and I'll remember. Hey, yeah, I can go back and check my video and see where I liked and where I didn't like. I'm here to say I've been going to the Philippines for 25 years. There are no hamburgers as good as an American burger. I have to agree with you, buddy. Totally agree. That's why I started calling them Beef, calling the beef Beef. It's because the first hamburger I ate was at like one of them little, I don't know, Big Mac little, kind of just like a, I don't know, I wouldn't call it a tent, but a little trailer with a little cooker. You see them set up everywhere. You know, they have like 30, 40 peso hamburgers, and they're cheap, but they don't taste like beef. I'm paying $8 a day for the scooter here in Coaching. Good. That sounds like a pretty good price. Let me know what you think of Coaching, because that, me going back to Thailand, like I say, this will be my 4th time back, I think. Trina, I want to show her all the stuff that I like, but I'd like to see some new shit too. You know what I mean? Hit the thumbs up, guys. Absolutely. We got 29 out of 45, so that's pretty good. Yeah, we got 16 of you ain't hit it yet. But yeah, and that's the deal. I like to go to new places too, but I always like my favorites too. So I'm hung up between exploring and places of comfort. Because anywhere you go, if you go back a second time, it just feels more like home, or more like, you know, your experience. It's familiar to you, so you know how to get around. So, but at the same time, you miss the adventure. You miss the knowing that you don't know where the hell you're at. So it's a give and take. Any thoughts on going to Japan? I love Japan, but I don't think I could afford to stay there over a week. Hell, even they're little bitty tiny. I mean, if you're talking Tokyo, you can find some $50 rooms, but most of their hotels are probably as big as your walk-in closet. But to have every damn thing in the world you can think of it, from a toilet, a commode that's smarter than most people's tablets. I mean, them things do everything from keeping your butt a certain temperature to spraying you in places you didn't know that you needed sprayed. But everything is so technical over there. I'm talking about every room that I stayed in had a tablet that would tell you, hey, do you need a wake-up call? Do you need this? Do you need that? You need everything in the world you could think of. Your hot pots, your damn night lights. I'm talking about technical as you could ever imagine, but as big as a walk-in closet. You kind of have to step into your bathroom, and your bathroom has a bathtub about the size of half a bathtub in the United States, with a shower there. So it's everything is dual purpose, multi-purpose. You can get anything you want from a vending machine, from, you know, anything you can imagine. But probably the cleanest city that I've ever been to in my life, the quietest city, most peaceful city. I mean, they've got that deal figured out. I think that's why their population's bad, though. They ain't having kids because they don't know how to interact with each other. It's just, that was my culture shock. I went from, when I came to the Philippines the first time, I stopped in Japan, in Tokyo, and spent 3 days. And so I went from that to Manila, which is probably the dirtiest city that I've ever been to in all my life, the most chaotic city that I've been to in my life, but the most affordable city that I've probably ever been to in my life. So everything's got its give and take. If you're a big baller, a high roller, go to Japan. You'll love it. I would love to go check out Osaka. I would love to go check out Okinawa. Okinawa is very expensive to just the plane ride over there is expensive. But I'd like to check out both of those and just an awesome place. But I think it would get old after a week or two. I wouldn't, but yeah, totally love Japan. Love their transportation. Their little train system can be a little tricky because but you can get anywhere you want to go on the trains or anywhere I wanted to go. But once you have to stop, get off this train line and get on this train line, as a guy that's never been there, it can get confusing. Same as Thailand. Thailand's the same way. This train will take you this way, and then you got to get off to go a different way. After you've been there a little while, it just becomes second nature. But it never did. I never was there long enough, so. But I love it. But I'm not a big baller. I don't like spending $120 a night for a damn, half a closet. But like I say, they got everything you need and cleanest place I've ever been. Check out southern Thailand, Trang Islands, Koh Muk, Emerald Cave, Koh Sukran, Koh Lanta. When I stayed at Phi Phi, I went on some island tour. I know I went to, the reason I'm telling you this because I might have been to Koh Lanta. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I went on an island tour where you went to like James Bond Island. You went to the famous island from the movie The Beach, and we went to another island, and I wanted to say it was named Atlanta. I may be totally off. It's been a long time. Yeah, it's so better to a place the second time. I was so much better on Bangkok. Yeah, everything's familiar. You got your favorite places. You know how to get around. It's just like, hell, I know what I'm doing now. You feel a whole lot more confident about getting out. Even like my second time in Bangkok, I got out and I said, we're gonna sing. I got a little karaoke going. She's singing to me, not realizing she's singing. I got out and I said, hell, I'm gonna figure these train systems out. So I got on the train system and I took them all the way to the river. Then I've got a deal where you just pay a riverboat where you can hop on, hop off all day long. I rode that river back and forth, getting off at different stops, checking out different neighborhoods, and that's the way to get around. And screw the train, get on that riverboat. No one talked to me in Tokyo. I'm not a fan of that. Yeah, but it depends on what mood you're in. The time I was there, I've been there like 3 times, but maybe 4 times. I can't remember. A couple of times I just stopped there, stayed the night, and then flew out, and I never even left Narita. But 2 of the times I went on into Tokyo, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the quiet. I enjoyed the nobody talking to me. They've got a way of doing everything over there, and a lot of that is being quiet. You notice if you're going up like an escalator, you're supposed, if you're not going to climb the escalator while it's moving, you get on one side and you stand there quietly, and that way people can go around you. Everything is it's a good system, but at the same time it would get lonely as hell over there if you're over there for a while. They've got them them standing women there too. Them women just standing on the street. But that's a weird deal too. You're like, should I go up and talk to them? Is that allowed? Or how does this deal work? Where have you been staying in America? If you haven't been seeing restrooms like that, I love my heated toilet in the winter. Yeah, Yeah, but you don't understand what I'm talking about. Not just heated. I'm talking about these things. These things got like a computer screen. I mean, a computer monitor that do every damn thing. Now you're probably right because I even seen when we was looking for, we went and bought that washing machine in the Aircon. They've actually got the heated toilets here in the Philippines. But I'm talking about this self-cleaning, self-rising, It might even had an eject button on it with parachute. I'm not sure. It had so many controls on it. I'm not sure. But yeah, in America, I always stay. I've got my favorites, but none of them have even upgraded to the bidet toilets yet. Yeah, they are. I agree, David. The closest thing I've come to as far as heated toilet is when I eat jalapeno peppers. I understand, totally get it. You need to eat some ice cream after you eat them jalapeno peppers. That way you can sit on that toilet and say, "Come on, ice cream." Need to cool off. Yeah, it even talks to me. Okay. So we're just a little bit behind. They've had them in Tokyo for years now. 39 in here and 34 of you hit the thumbs up. Hey, I appreciate everybody. Hopefully there's no eject button. I don't need to be flying around with my pants down. I'm telling you, they're smart. I guarantee they're smart. And they've got these, help me out, David. What are they called? Are they called insons? Where they're like public bathhouses that you go in? But unfortunately, they don't let anybody in that's got a tattoo. And I was stupid a long time ago and got a tattoo after I got a divorce. Just, going through what I was going through and thought I needed that. Probably one of the biggest mistakes I ever made. Because now I can't go in an inson in Japan. So yeah, it even talks to me. Good luck with the diet. Take up golf or exercise, and you'll burn off. Keep up the good content. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I need to check into that. I found it on the map. There's a little golf course right here by me, actually, right down here by the airport. I looked and tried to look at the pictures. I didn't see no golf carts, so I'm sure it would help me walk some of this off. I need to check into it though and see if they rent clubs and that kind of stuff because I do. I'd like to play some golf over here. I would like to just see what the golf course looks like. Onsen, not Ensign. Okay, my bad. I was not allowed to go in. They knew I was upset, so they upgraded my hotel room. I was so stupid to get a tattoo when I did the same thing. Live and learn. Nothing against tattoos. I just regret mine. Peace and good live. Just stopping by, leave a like on my way to dinner. Hey, Crypto, appreciate you. Yep. We're not going to be on here too much. We've been on here an hour and a half so far, so appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy your dinner. Do you like Duma, Valencia, Bacong, or Darwin better? I can't say I've only lived in Valencia and Dumaguete. I've been to Bacong and Darwin, of course. My absolute favorite, as of course y'all all know, is Valencia. The more I'm here in Dumaguete, the more I like it in even this neighborhood. I got to a deal, when I first got back, I was just riding or driving the pickup with Trina, and I hated it. I hated the traffic, couldn't get nowhere, and I thought it was just the traffic. Well, there's traffic like this and everywhere you go, even in Valencia, if you're in a pickup or a car. So me and Trina this last week or probably the last 2 weeks, have started just taking my motorbike, and I found love again. I really love riding the motorbike now. I got over it where I was like, I don't want to. The thought of getting on that motorbike and dealing with traffic, I was like, because I was used to riding in that truck. But in the traffic, I can weave through all of that, and it's like there is no traffic. So even yesterday when we went out, I went up and picked up my passport. She's like, "Are we taking the truck?" Because it was looking rainy. I was like, "Hell no, let's get on this motorbike." And even though it was sprinkling, hell, we made it there and back, and it would took us 3 times as long as we took the truck. I did screw up though and buy a Honda Click 125, and I just because I thought, hell, that's all I'll need. With having the pickup too. I wish I'd have bought a bigger bike. That way, me and her can, I screwed up and rode an NMAX, rented an NMAX in Bali, and then I rented a Honda Click in Bali, and it's night and day, the difference on being able to stop and maneuver. It's a little heavier, but that's no big deal. But with somebody on the back, I definitely need the more horsepower and the more stopping power. And so I may look into upgrading. I don't know. But back to Darwin and Bekong, I really think, hear me out, I think Bekong would be the perfect spot because you're 6 miles away from Dumaguete, you're 6 miles away from Valencia, and you're 6 miles away from Darwin. You're right in the middle, 6 miles from everywhere, but you're still out away from all the. Hey, karaoke lady. She's got her headphones in and is singing her butt on. I guess we'll just let her sing. But yeah, I think Bekong would probably be the perfect spot. You can get right there on the water there. But my favorite was Valencia just because I love the people. I got used to. I was there every day. I got the I was one of the locals, so that's what I fell in love with. But if you're in Bekong, Darwin, or Valencia, you're not going to have the comforts of Dumaguete, whether that be your Grab driver bringing you something to eat, which may be a good thing because I'm just one click away from burgers showing up on a motorbike right now, or chicken and rice, or whatever I want. Boom, hit Grab, it's here, and it costs hardly anything to have it delivered. You don't get that kind of service in any of the other places. Any news on Pro-Life Traveler? No, I hadn't heard anything. I really hadn't. I don't know. It don't look good just because of the fact that last asshole is trying to make the Philippines look bad. I think that Pro-Life Traveler will wind up taking the blunt of that deal. He will not have a cell phone in his luxury cell like that asshole had. And that asshole screwed it up for all his buddies that was probably doing time a lot easier before he left and ratted them all out for they probably had cell phones too that I bet they don't have now. I bet they're not living nearly as good. No matter how you're doing time, I don't think any time is easy, but I think that everybody that's in the system is having a harder time because that asshole come out and ratted them all out for the way he was living. So now these poor guys, even the Filipinos locked up, are going to have a whole lot rougher time, rougher experience in prison. And a lot of people say, well, good, they deserve it. I don't know about that. Just being captured, having your freedom taken away, that would have to be hard. I mean, that and especially for, was he a creep? Yeah. Was he a prick? Yeah. Was he a pervert? It looks that way. So yeah, I can see why people think that. But at the same time, for the initial reason that they locked him up, which was for being a person non grata and being disrespectful for the Philippines, that was the initial reason that they called him person non grata, and then they got him on the visa violation, which I'm sure they caused. I'm sure he probably went to get his visa and they slow played him until he was overstayed and then say, okay, gotcha, bitch. You know what I'm saying? If they want you, they're going to get you. So, yeah, I hadn't heard, but I'm sure it's not good. And I'm sure that the Filipinos probably said, hey, you let that piece of shit loose, and now he's talking bad about the Philippines. Don't let it happen again. Make an example out of this guy. And according to the Philippines, they was going to make an example out of that guy anyway. And I guess they probably did. They probably did 9 months being locked up for being a complete jackass. Is probably enough. I mean, he did some stupid shit, but I mean, everybody knew it was a prank. But he made the Philippines look bad, so screw him. He made us all look bad. He made the Philippines look bad, the Filipinos look bad, and he made the foreign guys look bad because now they think everybody's like that. Yeah, I mean, you can just feel the hostility if you try to break out a camera anywhere. When this used to be the best place in the world to do that. I bought two. Okay, sorry, Bob. Where are you watching the Super Bowl? If I watch it, it'll be at probably Sideways Sports Bar where they used to have the karaoke. I mean the music quizzes and stuff. But I don't even know if I'll go watch because it happens so damn early. I don't know if we'll get around to going over there. Last year we went down there and it was standing room only. So I told Trent, screw this. Let's get the hell out of here. So, and it's not Super Bowl Sunday here. It's Super Bowl Monday. So it's just not the same. You know what I mean? She's a happy lady. Yeah, she's singing her ass off in there. What are your favorite restaurants in Valencia? I've told y'all this before. I like. It's really been in between Valencia and Dumaguete, the Hideout, and M&M. M&M. It's American and Mexican food. M&M's probably my favorite restaurant of all. But I'm a sandwich guy. I love my sandwiches. And let me tell you this about the M&M. The only thing I've had from there is their breakfast burritos. I've had that once. I got that to take home just because I kept saying I was going to get it. But every time I walk through that door, I don't know how to do anything other than order the chicken fried steak because it is delicious. It makes me feel like I'm home. It's just one of them comforts of home that just they know how to make chicken fried steak. So there's lots of stuff on the menu that I've never even tried. I just have to get that chicken fried because it's great. It's when something ain't broke, don't fix it. And so that's all that I can tell you that I've actually tried. But I love it. I want it to succeed. The Hideout, like I say, it's in between. That's my other favorite. And the other places, they're really the main ones that I've ate at Hillside. I like that. I like the Hillside. But as far as favorites, those two. But the main reason I would go to Valencia is because I could go to either the Red Table and just talk to people that look like me. There was a certain group that kind of come in there, you just see them in passing, and while you're sitting there, you shoot shit with them. Everybody was always welcome to sit here, mate. Sit here, and you just sit there and shoot the shit. And I like I said, there's a little coffee shop behind the Red Table that I'd go order a coffee. There's Paco's Tacos right next to the Red Table. That can get you a taco or a burrito or a taco salad or at the Red Table. They got a great breakfast, bacon and eggs. Anybody can cook bacon and eggs. So it was more for the feel and the environment, those places, and the girls that work there are awesome, nice, friendly, just down to earth, and you just become friends with them. So that's my main reason. And across the way, a little bit down the road, is the Red Flower. Kind of has pretty much the same menu as the Red Table, a little fancier place, you can sit inside. Well, you can sit inside at the Red Table too. It's just a nicer, fancier place, and the girls there are great, So those are my go-tos. A lot of people like that Mexican. There's the same lady that owns the Hideout has a place called Los Burritos right there nearly to Valencia. And then there's another Mexican food place going around the curb there. So there's lots of choice, but my favorites are the ones on the way. I bought 2 Yamahas brand new in Dumaguete. My wife took a spill, then I took a spill, and I sold both of them with less than 20 miles on each. Yeah, I understand, Curtis. And that's why, I had that motorcycle wreck a couple years ago. And it just hadn't been the same since, because I got that in my back of my mind. Of course, that's why Aaron bought the tricycle. He knew that it would be a slower and more awkward thing, but he bought it for safety. I mean, let's just be honest. He bought it for safety, and he's in a tank, and I'm on a motorbike, and so when it comes down to it, he's a whole lot safer than me. I can get places quicker, but You got to weigh out your options. But I totally get it, Once I had my wreck, I was like, yeah, if I didn't have to get back on it and drive it, I probably would have never rode one again. But I had to. That was my only transportation. I lived by myself at the time, so I had to have it. And so luckily, if you get bucked off, get back on. That's the best thing you could do, because if I hadn't got back on, I never would have. I never would have if I'd had another option. Big Time 911 says, "What are your favorite?" Okay, I answered that. Good night. Good night. Good morning, folks. I'm gonna get some vittles to eat. Okay, Brian, take care. I hope I didn't talk long enough to tell you goodbye. What do you think of the Suzuki multicabs compared to the bikes? I don't know. I've heard good and bad. Yeah, I've heard good and bad. So I couldn't, and I've never even rode in one. They look awesome. They look neat. My uncle and them got one. Cousins, they've got one, and it's not the Suzuki. It's one of them little Japanese trucks. But it's just a farm unit. So I don't even know how much they. There was a phase that everybody kind of that had a farm back. I don't know, several years ago, bought one of them things just because there was shitloads of them coming to the United States, and people was getting them pretty cheap, so that's what you did. And so I couldn't tell you. I've never rode in one. I've never even drove theirs. Brent, I'll be sending you some photos from Coach Hang. Yeah, appreciate that, David. Have a good time, and I'll be checking it out. That may be a place that that I think about going. What'd you do? Did you fly there from Bangkok? How's one go about getting there? Can you fly straight to that island, or do you have to land somewhere close and get a ferry, or do you have to drive? Oh, you took a bus, you said, didn't you? Didn't you say you took a 5-hour bus? Yeah, I don't like them 5-hour van rides. No matter what country I've in. I've took one in the Philippines, and me and Mike had to take one from Siem Reap, Cambodia to Bangkok. I did not like it a bit. So I don't know if I would ever do that if I couldn't get there another way, because me and Sharina took a van from Port-au-Prince to El Nido. 5 hours, miserable. God Almighty! I started to just get out at the halfway point and find me a hotel, and then hire the next 2.5 hours the next day. It was miserable, very miserable. I heard Coach Chang was very nice. Well, David's the man you need to talk to. He's there as we speak. I think he got there yesterday, didn't you, David? Checking it out today. So yeah, let us know. I would like to know. It's like I say, we're going to Thailand in April. I'm going to take her to places she'd never been, but I'd like to at least hit a place I'd never been. You know what I mean? But I ain't taking no 5-hour van to get there. Back when we went, we could cross the land border. So me and Mike flew to Siem Reap, but then the flights got stupid back. They wanted like twice as much for the way back, and because stupid us going there, we didn't know how long we wanted to stay, because Mike didn't have it so long, and I said, well, hell, we don't know if we'll like it or not. We may get there and want to go back, leave 3 days later. Well, we didn't. We liked it, and we stayed over a week. Best I remember, and the flights got so ignorant, and of course everybody at our hotel, everybody in town was trying to sell us. They had so many options: a bus, a van, a luxury bus, a limousine bus, blah blah blah. Which we took I don't know, they pumped it up, and it was a damn van, and it was miserable. It was the longest. It took us, of course, we had to go from Siem Reap to the border, go through customs, get checked into Thailand again, back before their little conflict started, when you could do that, and then take another van from the border all the way to Pattaya. So it was all shit and day deal, just miserable experience. Me and Trina had a miserable experience. I do not want to go through that again. Did you like Siem Reap and Phnom Penh? What about Sabang? How was El Nino? Was it worth it? It was good. It's hard to get to. I do not recommend flying into Port-au-Prince and then going to El Nido. That's what me and Trina did. It was so miserable that after that van ride, instead of going, we had a plane ticket that would have took us fly back out of Port-au-Prince. We said screw it. We just let that ticket get wasted because there's no way in hell we was taking another 5-hour van ride to get back there. And so I forget if we took a ferry or a plane on to Corone, and we just, you know, just jumped on that way. But I liked El Nido. It's I don't know. It seemed like the weather wasn't the best. Phnom Penh, I've never been. Only place I've been is Siem Reap. I loved it. But about a week, and I think you're going to see all that you want to see. I think that, you know, Phnom Penh, as I understand it, is way bigger and way more to check out. But Siem Reap, we went to Angkor Wat. We went and checked out all them kind of things. And I'm sure there's lots of stuff that we didn't do. Mike had different things on his mind. But it was great. The people were great. Kind of eerie, kind of a bit eerie because, you know, I even asked one of the ladies, I said, boy, you don't see many men around my age, you know, of course, you know what went down, but they don't talk about it. And I thought, well, maybe they'd kind of open up, but I didn't pry after that. I was like, well, evidently, I could tell that it probably was a subject that they didn't want to talk about, so I didn't press the issue. But it was good. It was people were friendly. Things were cheap. Wouldn't want to stay there long term, though. I think you would get so damn bored that you would be, I don't know, I think it would just be plumb boring. There's an airport, but you still need to take the boat. Okay. So that'd be probably like going to Boracay. You got to fly into like Catlacan and take a ferry and all kinds of stuff. So, or like going to Koh Phi Phi, you can land in Phuket and then you got to take a ferry from either Phuket or if you're on the other side of Krabi, you can take it from there. As usual, I enjoyed your live chat, educational with a lot of good information. Going to say good night. Catch you on the next one. Appreciate you, Curtis. Appreciate your super thanks in all you do. You rock. Appreciate you. Have a good night. He had to throw the chicken lady 1,000 pesos since you're on this diet. It's going to go out of business. No, it's actually set up right across the street from well, y'all know where I used to live. Right across the streets from a school. So I think right at noon they let out. And I think she gets quite a bit of business from the school. Howdy and hello, Brent, fellow Oklahoma. Hello. How do you say that? Farrell in the Philippines. Hello, Farrell in the Philippines. Nice to see you. Nice to see you on here talking to another Okie. Is Boracay worth it? Phuket, too busy for me. Krabi, too slow, but nice. I've never been to Krabi. I'd like to check it out just because Phuket is too busy. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But we're going to go in April, which is low season. And every time I've been, it's been low season. The prices are cheaper. Not as many people. I love both of those facts. And I've always been lucky and had great weather. Never had an issue with weather. Ever. Boracay. Now, Boracay, I'm going to say no. It's a bitch into an island. Take a ferry to another island. They charge you all these fees and taxes for shit you have no clue. It's a great place, but it's totally overrated if you ask me. If you ask me, you go to, I mean, yeah, they got beautiful beaches, but it's about the I don't know. You can go to Alona Beach over in Boho for free. I mean, cost you, I mean, if you're in Dumaguete, it's $20 ferry to Boho. Just go down and stay at Pang Lao, and the hotels are half the price they are in Boracay. You can rent a scooter in Boracay, I mean, in Boho, Pang Lao. You can't, or we never found a place where you could in Boracay. So they've got all these electric scooters, and it's just everything's a price gouge. Everything they want 10 times as much as, you know, as a tricycle would cost you to take you anywhere on island. They want like $10 or $5, like 300 pesos or something ridiculous. It's just everything's a money grab. The only thing really I liked about it was the restaurants. They had some, you know, touristy restaurants. I mean, it's a little change of pace from the Filipino stuff you get it. But no, and Yeah, I mean they had to shut the whole island down a while back because it just got so polluted and nasty that they had to. It, all these great places, of course, are hard to get to. So I mean, you got to pick your poison. El Nido, we had to go through that terrible 5 hour van ride because some dummy chose to fly into Port-au-Princess. That would be me. We chose to do that, and because I didn't know no better, I should have studied up. I think there's an airport in El Nido. I'm not 100% sure, but if there is, do that. Do not go to Port-au-Princess. Totally skip that. Just and maybe Port-au-Princess has some good shit to offer, but we flew in there, got there about 4 o'clock, so got to our hotel about 5 o'clock. You know, it was about dark. Stayed in a beautiful place there in Port-au-Princess. Woke up, got on that damn bus, and it was a miserable day of travel. So I'd say no. There's a lot more bang for your buck in the Philippines than Boracay. But Boracay is what all the Philippines people want to go because they've just heard great things about it. And it's just overrated, if you ask me. I landed in Manila on April 2nd. New life in it. You'll love it. I hope you really enjoyed it. Bye bye, Curtis. Take care. I really think you will. And what is that? Yeah, and best of luck to you. Safe travels. And where are you going to end up, Farrell? How's Siquijor? Kind of. I got me the first time. I've been to Siquijor like 3 times. First time, I absolutely loved it. So I went back the second time, and the second time was like, you know. Third time was like, I ain't coming back. I just totally lost it. 3 different trips, 3 different vibes. It felt like 3 different places. It's getting awful touristy. Used to, you could go stay over there for nearly nothing. Now it's a tourist spot, so it's got tourist prices. There's not that many local people to enjoy over there. So it's just not for me. Now, if I ever do go back again, who knows? I may love it. I may like it. I don't. But I left with a sour taste of. And let me clear this up. The last time I was there too, I think the last time I was there, I got hung up there. I was supposed to be there for 3 days, and I think I wound up staying there 6 days because I couldn't get a ferry off because the waves were too big one day to get me back. The second day, they told me that the Coast Guard still hadn't approved, transportation, wouldn't let nobody go. Well, I found out later that all the other ferries are running. It was just them telling me that because they wanted to keep me there another day where they didn't have to refund my money, so I would take their boat the next day. I wound up going through that 3 different times, and I'm not talking about the ferry from Siquijor to Dumaguete. I was trying to go from Siquijor to Bohol, so it was on the opposite side of the island. So I'd have to drive my motorbike, and it's a small island, but it's still probably a 45-minute drive across the island for them to say, nope, boat's not running today, and have to drive all the way back. It was a pain in the ass. And so I kind of got a little sick of that deal, and just didn't have I don't know, just left there with a sour taste in my mouth. Bohol, I enjoy Bohol. Bohol's a great island. Brent, are you going to check out the hotel I stayed at in Bangkok? $65 a night, right up the soy from Nana. No, I was checking on that, but I found it was going to be $165 for 3 nights, and I found one for $109, same location with a rooftop pool. So I'm going to give it a go. But I looked it up. It was just, I thought, hell. And that one was rated 7.6, I think, on Agoda. And this is rated 7.9 or 7.8, something like that. Of course, I know that don't mean crap. When you get there, you know. But I decided to go with the $109 one. And I forget the name of it. Ask me later. Now, Atlas, I think. Same location, same right there. right there handy. And I found another one for 120 that I really like the location because it's right at Asaka, you know, the station right up from Nana, which is closer to Terminal 21, and it's about Soy 15, which is right up the street from that favorite spa that I go to, that Vietnamese spa that I absolutely love. That I mean, it's a legit spa, but they do everything. They rub your head, they break your back, they do your feet, they do everything. I mean, your head, totally awesome experience. Just pamper the shit out of you for hardly anything. I think maybe 1,000 baht or something, or maybe not even that much. Favorite place in Philippines, Sagada Mountain Town above Baguio. Vegan. There's Little Mexico Field Town, Alamo Style, San Antonio, Quinduquit Beach, north of Subic is awesome. Them are on my list. And I figure if I'm in Baguio, I might as well go a little bit further north, so I can mark that off my list. I'd like to check that out. Yes, Subic's on my radar. So Dumaguete is my target, but I'm going to take my time getting there, check out other places on the way. Hey, Farrell, that's a pretty good strategy you had. Matter of fact, I made a video last night telling people to do exactly just that. I know you're in a hurry to get here. You want to get here, get going. But I think while a guy's flies into Manila or wherever, yeah, take your time. Hell, while you're in Manila, you may want to check out Angeles City, get some of that stuff out of your system, or at least go see it, go check it out. Because you get down here, you don't realize how many people get down here, and this is the only place they've ever been. They don't know nothing about, they was in Manila for 3 hours to catch their next plane. A lot of people don't know shit about any of the Philippines other than here in Dumaguete, and Dumaguete is not a good feel of the Philippines. Of course, neither are these tourist places, but but you know what I mean? You get a feel if you just slowly, take your time. I think you're going about it the right way, I really do. Hats off to you. Big time. Is Boracay worth it? Phuket was too busy for me. Krabi too slow. I'm sorry, I must have skipped Furrow back there, so that's the same one. Christopher, so he had to throw the. Curtis Green says, "Bye." I guess I just missed that one, so I'm getting back on schedule now. Favorite places of blah blah blah. We already been that. Dumaguete is my target. Wish I could take you back to Thailand in 19. I wish you could too, Christopher. Yeah. What is that? I'm 50 years late, 40 years late, and I know it. I'm afraid that we're 30 years late on the Philippines. I mean, let's just be honest. We're 30 years late on the Philippines. Probably 30 years late on Thailand, and I don't know. I would have loved to have seen what I've seen or heard of what went on back then. But I wouldn't want to have to go through what you and Curtis went through either at the same time, if you know what I mean. If you're a Vietnam vet too. Angela, yeah, it's dying. It's really dying. Last time I was there, it was like Koreatown. If you wasn't, it's just. If you're cool with it, maybe when I get to Dumaguete, I hit you up for a coffee meeting. Sounds good. Yeah, just hit me up and we'll try to make it happen. It's all true, bro. Yeah. Well, and that brings a smile to my face because I've seen some. I mean, and it's cheap now. I can't imagine how cheap it was. Other than I've seen Full Metal Jacket. I've seen a lot of things and heard a lot of stories by some old timers that make me think, damn, that sounds like heaven and hell at the same time. You know what I mean? And I've got a couple of uncles that have told me stories that were there. Which has better scooter loop, Sikihor, Boho, Cebu Island, or Dumaguete and Negros Island? Well, I don't know what you mean. I would Sikihor is such a small island. You can do it. You can drive around Sikihor in half a day. Uh, Depending if you want to see a lot of stuff or you want to see a lot of country. If you want Cebu, I don't recommend because it's so damn busy from the very south all the way to Moncton. It's just traffic, zoom, 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 zoom. Too many people on a narrow road. It's just you got to stay on your toes all the time. Head on a swivel. No, I rode it on a motorbike. I don't recommend it. Negros is so big. Yeah, it's great, but you better have good weather, and you better have, I'd say, 3 days to do it and enjoy it. And enjoy some of if you want to enjoy some of the cities, I would say, 5 or 6 days. Make a week out of it. Stop at some of these smaller cities. And there's lots of cities that I didn't even know existed in between Bacolod and San Carlos City that look like pretty decent sized towns. I wouldn't call them cities, but towns. Big enough they've got McDonald's. So there's at least 3, and you can tell, you're in the province if your town don't even have a 7-Eleven. Well, you're in a little bigger town if it's got a 7-Eleven. I mean a McDonald's. So what's the other ones you said? Boho can be pretty big. I toured Boho for about 3 or 4 days and still didn't see it all. I spent like a couple of days in Panglao. I spent, I went up to the Chocolate Hills. I can't remember the town there. Then I went all the way to the coast, or went to a big waterfall there, and then darted straight over. So there's a little section that I didn't even hit. But I think Boho was absolutely awesome. Where did I see that? Boho, Cebu Island, or Duma? San Negros Island. I don't know, but the good thing about it, if you wanted to, you could do the whole loop and just jump on a ferry with your bike, and that's actually what I did. I was living in Cebu, and I flew into Dumaguete because they had a veterans deal down at the Ground Zero, where the veterans people from Manila, the Social Security people, and some other group was all going to be at Dumaguete at Ground Zero. So, and I was tired of being in Cebu in the city, so I flew to Duma. While I was in Duma, I thought, hell, I'll just rent a bike here in Dumaguete because it's a hell of a lot cheaper here than it was in Cebu. And then I'll just go on a little motorcycle tour because I wasn't in no damn hurry to get back to Cebu. So what I did is I rented a scooter here in Dumaguete, took a ferry over to Sikihor, rode all of Sikihor, took a ferry from Sikihor to Boho, rode all it, took a ferry from Boho to Cebu, went home, stayed there for, I don't know, I think I had 10 days left before I was flying out and going to either Thailand or Vietnam, I think. And I rode my motorbike from Cebu all the way to Dumaguete. Of course, took a ferry, in South Cebu, back to Dumaguete, turned my motorbike in, and then flew back to Cebu. So you can do the whole thing. That's actually exactly what I did. I just watched the video with Chad at Clark. Have you ever been there? Yeah. There's nothing there. I mean, I didn't see nothing there. That's where the airport is. That's where, it's more of a United States feeling town because it's spread out and it's you can tell it's a military base, if that makes sense. And all I seen in Clark, evidently I haven't been to like where people live. I seen like neighborhoods, but everything I drove by was just like abandoned military base, military barracks, military buildings that are vacant because the United States either don't let them use it because of something. We left it, but maybe we don't let them. I don't know. It's like you just drive through there and you're like, oh, this is one waste of good property. But every place Chad Forrester has ever been is the greatest place. He tried to say, every place is, the next big thing. That's That's his, and he's successful. I'm not hating. It's just everywhere he goes is the nest. You must best retire place in the Philippines. So, but yeah, it's more of a Western feel because it's spread out, but there's really nothing there. I mean, but it's pretty much Angeles City. I mean, it's on the outskirts of Angeles City. That's where you got to fly out of. I mean, it's just side by side with Angeles. So everybody lives in Angeles. I got to get going. Great chat. Yeah. We'll take her easy, David. Have a good time. Don't get any on you. If you do, make sure to wipe off. Hit the like button, people. Yeah, hell yeah, hit the like. We got 41 likes. I appreciate everybody. Big Brent, buddy, what's good, man? I think, what's up, good man? What is the best place you have been to in the fields? That's Rob. The best place, probably Dumageddon. That depends on what you're looking for. Are you looking for? There's so many things you could be looking for. You're looking for ladies. You're looking for instant ladies. You're looking for ladies of the night. You're looking for beaches. You're looking for every place got a different feel. Every place has something different to offer. But Dumageddon's home to me, if that's what you're asking. Have you been to Bantayan Island? No. North or Subic Dipolog? No. Them are on my list. Them are on my list. The Subic and the Dipolog. I'd like to go to Dipolog just to say I've been to Mindanao. You know what I mean? Never been. Great channel, buddy. Appreciate it, Rob. Brent, you ever plan on retirement in the Philippines? That's what I'm doing now. And that was part of the reason I picked yours because Manila has a VA. I've actually been there and checked it out, and everything was good to go. I can have everything worked on that's service connected, so that was a plus. They speak English. It's a cheap place, not near as cheap as all the other countries. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Philippines is getting outphased when it comes to the cheap. Matter of fact, probably most of the countries are cheaper. Thailand's very similar, but Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, I think they're all cheaper than the Philippines and probably offer more for what you get for your money, but they don't speak English. Vietnam don't speak English. Most of Bali, that's the only place I've been in Indonesia, so I'll say that. They do speak English, so you don't had no trouble there. Kuala Lumpur, I didn't have any trouble there, but that's the only place I've been in Malaysia. But Vietnam, probably the cheapest place. But I'm not sure how their visa works. Philippines got a good visa. You can be here up to 3 years just on a tourist visa. So that's a lot of the reason why it is a pain in the ass having to go down every 2 months and redo it. They used to offer 6. They don't offer that no more. So it just depends what you're after. But yeah, I like the Philippines. Holla, y'all. Where'd I go? How was Iloilo City and Bacolod? Overrated. Too many people in Bacolod. Super overcrowded. Traffic is a nightmare. Yeah, they have a lot. You can get anything you want in Bacolod. Bacolod is 3 or 4 times the size of Dumageddon. It's got 650,000 people. I didn't realize that. But yeah, totally overcrowded. There was all them vloggers was moving to Bacolod a year or 2 years, I don't know how many ago, and it's the next greatest place. There's none of them still there. I know Chad and several of them went to Iloilo. This is the greatest places. No, total boring, nothing to do. Me and Aaron rode our motorbikes all the way there, totally disappointed. And you're there, you're like, that's it? That's all I got? Yeah, they got a nice walking trail. You don't have the traffic that you have here, but you're pretty much, it's not a good jumping off point if you're wanting to go other places. You're probably closer to Boracay than anywhere else, but other than that, that's pretty much, I think, all you got going for you, other than there's not as many people. I wasn't impressed. And I'm a Dumageddon guy, so I'm biased to here, so It may be a great place. I know people that say they love it. Of course, you know, a lot of these people, no matter where they're at, that's the greatest place. I see there's a famous Philippine guy, vlogger. Y'all, I know y'all know exactly. Trying to tell everybody that Kenya, Africa, is the best place you go. What the hell? No way in hell. If they won't even let you donate blood if you've even been to them parts of the world. And he's trying to tell people that, you know, that's no. I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not. And like I say, a lot of these people, you got to be careful because there was another vlogger pushing Cambodia real hard that I just totally disagree with. There's no way. Yeah, Cambodia is great, but for a week or two, and then you got to get the hell out of there because no. I'm sure. Yeah, it's cheap, but I mean, there's nothing to do. There's nothing. There's no. I don't know. I'm just biased, I guess. But yeah, be careful because every place they're at, that's the next big thing. Because misery enjoys company. Misery enjoys company. Just remember that, folks. You better be careful. You know, I could move to I could move to a little province over here and get everybody. You know, people trust that they're giving good advice when they're just lonely or don't want to be the only. Misery enjoys company. They don't want to be the only one there, so they try to spread the misery. And you know, enough people get there, and the opposite happens too. It's a good place, and then people say that, then too many people go there, and it's not the place that it was that made it great. You know what I mean? So, and in Chad's case, that may be the case on a lot of places he's been, but I've heard horror stories about all the places. I've heard horror stories about Dumageddon too. But Baguio, you know, the honest ones will tell you how the traffic is worse than Dumageddon. How you can't get anywhere. It's so overcrowded. And why wouldn't it be? That's the only place that, you know, that's the perfect temperature. If there is a perfect temperature, everybody from the United States wants to be in a 70-degree climate. Of course, that's where everybody's going to be, so it's not going to be the Philippines. And that's an old military town, too, that everybody used to go to get away from, you know, the heat and Hello, Brent from Civiline. Hello. How about getting your VA meds? Can you get your VA meds there? Yeah, they'll mail them to you. Not a problem. How was Bali? Bali was great. I love Bali. I really wish I would have spent more time on the islands than I did Bali itself, because Bali is miserable too when it comes to traffic. I mean, it's worse than the Philippines. Places you might driving 20 kilometers take you an hour and a half. I mean, it's miserable. You're stopped more than you're rolling. It's bad. But on them islands, it wasn't so bad. It was great, and it looked like in northern Bali, where there just wasn't. And the roads are like ant trails. You know, it's not like blocks. You know, you can't just, if there's a traffic jam here, you can't just go over a block and then bypass it. No, it's like there's no rhyme or reason. Will you get your military SRRV? I think so. That's the plan right now. Of course, things could change. Their visa rules could change. They've changed 2 or 3 times since I've been here already. You know, they used to offer the 6 month. You could re-up for a 6 month at a time there if they still had that. And maybe that's the reason they did that, to push people to do the SRRV. But if they still had the 6 month, no, I never would do it. I'd just stay here and go down to that office 6 months at a time and just pay my little old deal. That's what I loved about Mexico. You could do that. You could do that in Mexico as soon as you land. You don't have to fill out no paperwork. You don't have to do nothing. You get stamped in for 6 months. Don't have to worry about a thing. And it's great. You used to could go down to the office, extend for 6 months here. You can't do that no more. And of course, I'm sure that made a lot of people say, hey, I guess I'll break down and get the SSRV. But like I said, I'm going to wait till I'm 50, so it's not 3,000, it's just 1,500, just because I'm so close. Losing my voice here, folks. We're going to have to wrap this up here. What did you do for work back home, and did you own your own business? I always had my own cattle, and I was a farm supervisor for the state of Oklahoma. I worked at a prison, run a tractor crew, did all the farming for the prison. or my inmates did. I worked there for 15 years for the state of Oklahoma, and then I was in the Army, and then I was in the National Guard, and did that for 9 years. Have you drove from Bacolod over the mountains? I heard San Salvador. No, I haven't. I asked my buddy who lives in San Carlos. I went and seen him. I said, should I drive around the whole island and stick to the beach and just stick around, which is the long way, or should I cut through? He said it's a lot closer if you cut through. But I wanted to say I'd been all the way around the island, and I wanted to see all the beautiful beaches. Total mistake, because as soon as I left San Carlos City, I don't think I seen a beach at all again. Ever, I don't think. So I thought I was going to be taking a beach road all the way around there, and I didn't. It took us longer to get there, but I can actually say I've been all the way around this island. But from Bacolod to Bayawan, we cut through the mountains there, and it was a beautiful, awesome drive. So I'm sure that it's probably the same mountain range, and it was amazing. It really was. How much is a new iPhone in the Philippines? I have no clue. I brought 2 of them over here with me. They're not new. Mine are the iPhone minis. I'm a small phone guy. So I had an iPhone 12 mini before. So before I came, I bought another one off eBay and just got one identical to the one I had. I liked it so good. Because they quit making the iPhone minis after 13. And I started to get a 13 to upgrade, but I thought, oh, hell, this one's been so good to me. Everything's the same. I don't have to learn nothing new. So I bought me another one of these. I have no idea. There's a couple iPhone stores here. I'll check that out next time I'm in one. I drove from Dowling to Starbucks, and you're still going. Yeah, we're about to get off here though, Danny. Damn, we've been on here 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah, we're going to cut it off. My old throat's getting dry. I can't hardly talk. Rob, thanks, Brent, buddy. Hope to see you one day. Sounds good. Just let me know. Hey, I appreciate everybody hanging around with me. I appreciate all the super chats. Thank you, Curtis and Callie. Y'all rock. Wasn't for folks like y'all, we couldn't do the things that we do. Appreciate everybody. Good info. Thank you, Farrell. Look forward to safe travels. Holler at me when you get here. Until next time, like I say, hit the like button. Absolutely, Farrell. And like I say, until next time, this is Brent's Trippin'. Peace. Uh-oh. Thanks, Brent. Thanks, Big Time 911. Y'all be good. I don't know how to turn this damn thing off. I forget every time. Peace. Peace, Gunna. We'll do. All right, Farrell. There we go. All right, be good.